parade. Attention. Color guard will now bring out the national flag of the Russian Federation and the victory flag. National flag of the Russian Federation and the victory banner is now brought onto Red Square. The color guard is of the Honor Guard Battalion, 154th Preobrazhensky Independent Commandant's Regiment. Regiment Commander Colonel Oleg Gorshenin. The regiment just recently was assigned the honorific title of Preobrazhensky in tribute to a famed Guards Regiment of the Imperial Russian Army. The honor of opening the parade has been assigned to the Preobrazhensky Regiment.
Color guard carrying the official flag of the Russian Federation is commanded by Senior Lieutenant Dmitry Bobrov, a platoon commander with the Honor Guard Company. Junior Sergeant Artyom Solovyov carries the flag, accompanied by Privates Vasily Goloborodko and Alexei Terikov. The color guard carrying the victory banner is commanded by Senior Lieutenant Konstantin Rybakov. Junior Sergeant Anton Mikhailov, a deputy platoon commander with the Honor Guard Company, carries the victory banner, accompanied by Junior Sergeant Yevgeny Trofimov and Junior Sergeant Vyacheslav Krutov. The Honor Guard Company was raised in 1956. In its more than 55 years of service, it has been employed in over 40,000 military ceremonies, including Honor Guard ceremonies for visiting heads of states, wreath-laying ceremonies, and so on. The 154th Independent Commandant's Regiment is the official Honor Guard unit of the Russian Armed Forces since the late 1940s. It is commanded by Colonel Oleg Gorshenin. Ranks of the 154th also are employed in garrison duties, and they invariably participate in Victory Day parades.
The original victory banner was the battle flag of the 150th Idritskaya Rifle Division, which fought in the Battle of Berlin in April 1945. Its detachment, led by Sergeant Mikhail Yegorov and Junior Sergeant Meliton Kantaria, mounted the battle flag atop the dome of the captured Reichstag building on May 1st, 1945.
At ease. Parade. Attention. Russian Defense Minister General Sergei Shoigu inspects the parade. He is awarded and decorated as the hero of Russia. Russia. The parade is commanded by Colonel General Vladimir Churkin, Commander-in-Chief of Land Forces. The parade commander salutes the defense minister. Their vehicles meet right in the center of Red Square. The parade commander reports to the defense minister, General of the Army, Sergei Shoigu. Minister, General of the Army Sergei Shoigu, and Colonel General Vladimir Churkin start a circuit around the square to inspect the troops. Their vehicles roll in cadence with each other. The defense minister inspects the troops, driving from unit to unit and addressing the ranks to congratulate them.
As the defense minister inspects the troops, an 800-strong combined military band conducted by Senior Director Lieutenant General Valery Halilov performs military marches. 2 of the 6 marches were written by Major General Semyon Chernetsky, a world-famous composer and director who conducted the original Victory Parade on Red Square on June 22nd, 1945.
The 2013 Victory Day Parade is the 139th military parade on Red Square. It features a total of more than 11,000 servicemen from every branch of the Russian armed forces.
In accordance with tradition, dismounted honor guard units will be first to march, followed by columns of military vehicles. The final part of the parade will feature a flyover by military aircraft of the Russian Air Force.
Russian government plans to enhance combat training of the Russian military by introducing more military exercises in 2013. A major drill of the year will be the strategic war game Zapad 2013. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu's vehicle heads to the central stand for a report to President Vladimir Putin, Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Armed Forces.
Уважаемые граждане России,
Citizens of Russia,
дорогие ветераны,
dear veterans,
товарищи солдаты и матросы,
soldiers and seamen,
сержанты и старшины,
surgeons and petty officers,
прапорщики и мичманы,
warrant officers,
товарищи офицеры, генералы
officers,
и
generals
адмиралы.
and admirals.
Поздравляю вас с
Today
Днем
we celebrate
Победы.
Victory Day,
с Днем славы нашего народа,
The day of
сокрушившего
glory
нацизм.
for our people
Прошло
who
уже
have destroyed
68 лет, как
Nazism.
закончилась
It's been
Великая
68 years
Отечественная война.
since the end of the Great Patriotic
Но память
War,
о ней не меркнет.
but the memory of this
Передается
war
от
is still
поколения к
fresh
поколению.
with us.
От
It is passed from
родителей к
generation
детям.
to generation,
От
from
сердца
parents to their children,
сердцу.
from heart to heart.
И главной силой такого святого родства является любовь
This
к
is
России,
mainly because
к родному
our people
дому,
love
к своим
Russia,
близким,
love their
своей
homeland,
семье.
love their families.
Эти ценности объединяют нас и
These
сегодня.
values unite
За них
us
героически
today
сражался
as well.
весь
These
наш
are the
народ.
values that all the people
Мы
of
всегда
Russia
будем помнить,
fought for
что именно
heroically.
Россия,
We will always remember
Советский Союз
that it was
сорвали
Russia, the Soviet
человеконенавистнические,
Union,
кровавые,
that
надменные
destroyed
планы нацистов.
the arrogant plans
позволили
of
фашистам завладеть
Nazis
миром.
and prevented the Nazis from
солдат
conquering the
отстоял
world. It
свободу и
was our
независимость,
soldiers who
защищая
defended
свою родину,
freedom
не жалея
and
себя,
independence, protecting
освободил
their
Европу.
homeland and
и
liberating
одержал
Europe,
победу, величие которой навеки
winning a
останется.
victory that will
в истории.
always remain great in
Дорогие
history.
наши ветераны,
Our dear veterans,
высшим смыслом вы всегда считали благополучие и
you
безопасность
always
Родины.
cared for the
Патриотизм
security of
скреплял
your
ваше
homeland
военное
above
братство,
all.
возвышал над врагом.
Your military
был опорой
brotherhood
в
was
жестоких
based on
сражениях под
patriotism
Москвой и
that carried you
Сталинградом,
through fierce
на Курской
battles
дуге,
of
на
Moscow,
Днепре,
Stalingrad,
давал
Kursk,
силы в муках
the
блокадного
Dnieper
Ленинграда,
River, the siege of
закалял дух в
Leningrad.
неисчислимых боях на безымянных высотах,
You went through
поддерживал
countless
в тяжелом
battles,
труду в тылу.
sustained you
Ваши жертвы
in
и
your
утраты
labor
ничем не измерить.
in the rear.
Мы будем вечно чтить ваш
The
подвиг,
sufferings you went
скорбеть о
through are
погибших и
immeasurable.
замученных,
We will always
всегда
remember
отстаивать
what
правду о
you
войне.
did, and we will
Во
always
имя Отечества
maintain
наши предки во
truth
все
about
времена
the war.
достигали величайших вершин доблести и отваги.
Our ancestors have
Поражали
always
весь мир своим
demonstrated their
мужеством и
valor and impressed the
сплоченностью.
world
Умели
with their
побеждать.
bravery.
Эти традиции пример для молодых
This
поколений.
tradition is
И
a
они
good
уже не раз
example for our
доказали
young
это,
people,
защищая
and they
суверенитет
have
и интересы
repeatedly
Родины.
demonstrated that
Мы помним, что значит
protecting the
трагедия
sovereignty
войны.
of our homeland.
И сделаем все,
We
все,
remember
чтобы никто
how
и никогда не
tragic
посмел
war
ее вновь
is,
развязать.
and we will
Не
never allow
угрожал нашим
anybody to
детям, нашему
start
дому, нашей земле.
another war again and threaten
Сделаем
our
все для укрепления
homeland.
безопасности
We will do
на планете.
everything we can to
Победа
protect
в мае
peace and
45-го –
security
это
on the
набат,
planet.
утверждающий
The victory
жизнь
of
без войны.
1945
Это святой символ верности
demonstrates
Родине,
to the whole
которая
world
живет
that we
в
want to
каждом из
live
нас.
in peace without war.
Символ единства многонационального народа России,
Symbol
его
of
безграничной
unity of the
преданности своим корням
multinational
и своей истории.
People of Russia
Мы
is
обязаны оправдать надежды
how
наших
we
великих
care
дедов и
about
отцов.
traditions.
Обязаны
We
победить
must
все
be
трудности
worthy
и
of our
преграды
fathers
и
and
передать нашим детям
grandfathers, and we
процветающую,
must pass on
свободную
to
и
our
сильную
children a
Россию.
wealthy and strong
Слава
Russia.
народу-победителю!
Glory
С
to the
праздником
people of
вас!
Russia who
С
won
днем
this war.
Великой
Let
Победы!
us celebrate
Слава
Victory
России!
Day, the day of our
Ура!
great victory. Glory to Russia. Hurrah!
The combined military band is performing the national anthem of the Russian Federation. Parade, attention. Parade Commander Colonel General Vladimir Cherkin commands the start of the parade. He leads the march. In accordance with tradition, the parade is opened by a drummer squad of the Moscow Military Musical College, led by college principal Alexander Gerasimov. Cadets of the Military Musical College also opened the original Victory Parade on June 24th, 1945. Earlier in the war, during the defense of Moscow in late 1941 and early 1942, military musicians were deployed for sentry duties, guarding the city's military installations.
Color Guard marches carrying the official flag of the Russian Federation, the Victory Banner, and the banner of the Russian Armed Forces. The Color Guard is accompanied by Honor Guard detachments representing the ground forces, the Air Force, and the Navy. The Honor Guard is made up of servicemen drafted from various regions of the Russian Federation.
Includes cadets of military schools, academies and colleges of the Defense Ministry. Right now we see teenage cadets of the Moscow Suvorov Military School, commanded by school principal Major General Alexander Kasyanov. Many of the cadets come from families with a legacy of military service, and the school itself is titled in tribute to a famed Russian general and war leader of the 18th century, Alexander Suvorov. Next come teenage cadets of the Nahimov Naval School, named after a famous Russian admiral, commanded by Captain First Rank Valery Sukhinin. Next march cadets of the Aksaysky Cossack Cadet Corps. This is their first ever appearance as part of a Victory Day Parade. The outfit is commanded by Corps Director Colonel Vasily Dontsov. Here comes the combined regiment of the Russian ground forces. First come cadets and faculty of the combined military academy of the armed forces of the Russian Federation, led by head of the academy, Lieutenant General Viktor Polyakov. Famous marshals of the Soviet Union, such as Bagramian, Rokossovsky, Konev, Malinovsky, Meretskov, and many other military commanders were graduates of this academy.
Next, we see the Military University of the Defense Ministry, led by the head of the university, Colonel General Valery Marchenkov. About 300 military men went on to become heroes of the Soviet Union and of the Russian Federation, have studied there.
First time participating in a Victory Day Parade, General of the Army Krulov Military Academy of Material and Technical Security marches, led by head of the academy, Lieutenant General Viktor Ivanovsky. 88 alumni of their academy became heroes of the Soviet Union during the war. 25 of them became heroes of socialist labor, and one a hero of Russia.
Next, we see the combined regiment of the Russian Air Force, including the Zhukovsky Gagarin Air Force Academy, located in Voronezh. The column is led by the head of the academy, Major General Gennady Zibrov, who himself graduated from this academy. Among the alumni of the academy, more than 1,500 heroes of the Soviet Union and of the Russian Federation. 150 of them awarded twice. First cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, first female cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova, and the first person to perform a spacewalk, Alexei Leonov, all graduated from this academy.
The Combined Regiment of the Russian Navy, led by head of Peter the Great Naval Corps, Naval Institute Rear Admiral Nikolai Moryasov. Among the alumni of the Institute are many famous admirals, including Ushakov, Nakhimov, Kuznetsov, and Gorshkov.
See the 336th Independent Naval Infantry Brigade of the Baltic Fleet, headed by its commander, Colonel of the Guards, Vasily Kravtsov. Marine forces showed remarkable courage and heroism, defending Odessa, Sevastopol, Novorossiysk, and Leningrad during World War II.
An honor guard of Russian Air and Space Defense Forces, led by Colonel Konstantin Ogienko. Aerospace Defense Forces are in charge of Russia's air and space defense.
Now we see a battalion of the Strategic Missile Forces with cadets of the Peter the Great Military Academy. The column is led by the head of the Serpukhov branch of the Academy, Major General Alexei Konnov. The Strategic Missile Forces of the Russian Federation control the major part of Russia's land-based ICBMs.
The Combined Regiment of Russian paratroops, led by Colonel Anatoly Kontsevoy. We see cadets of General of the Army Vasily Margelov's Ryazan Airborne Senior Command Academy. This year marks the 95th anniversary of the Academy. 127 of graduates of this academy became heroes of the Soviet Union during the war.
Now we see the 331st Guards Paratrooper Regiment, led by Colonel Viktor Gunasev. The regiment took part in liberating Hungary, Austria, and Czechoslovakia from Nazi invaders.
The honor guard of the 217th Guards Paratroopers Regiment, led by its commanding officer, Colonel Andrei Sukhovetsky, closes the march of Russia's airborne forces. More than 1,000 military men from this regiment were decorated in various times. 4 of them became heroes of the Russian Federation.
Next, we see company of the 1st Mobile Brigade of Radiation, Chemical, and Biological Defense, led by Colonel Roman Popov. During World War II, 42 military unions of Radiation, Chemical, and Biological Defense Forces were awarded military decorations and medals for their accomplishments.
The 34th and 38th Independent Railway Brigades of Russian railway troops, led by Colonel Igor Afinogenov and Colonel Vladimir Belaitz.
Next, we see the Division of Internal Troops of the Interior Ministry, led by its commander, Major General Igor Podubny. In 1945, it was this unit that had the honor of throwing the banners of the defeated Nazi armies in front of the Lenin Mausoleum.
Of the Civil Defense Academy of the Ministry of Emergency Situations of the Russian Federation, led by Major General Pavel Barishev. The Academy trains experts for civil defense purposes.
Marching on the Red Square, we see cadets of the Moscow Bodyguards Institute of Federal Security Service of the Russian Federation, led by the head of the institute, Major General Valery Kozlov.
We see military units of the Western Military District. The first column is of the 27th Independent Guards Motor Rifle Brigade, led by Colonel Vladimir Yeremeyev. More than 5,000 servicemen of the brigade were decorated with the military orders and medals. 10 of them became heroes of the Soviet Union, and 2 became heroes of the Russian Federation.
Now see Taman Guards marching across Red Square in 2013. The 5th Motor Rifle Brigade was renamed back into the 2nd Tamanskaya Guards Motor Rifle Brigade. Column is led by Colonel Andrei Sichevoy. The division took part in World War II from its very first days. 34 Taman Guards received the title of Hero of the Soviet Union for their courage. 5 of them were awarded the Order of Glory, and over 19,000 received various kinds of medals and decorations.
We see the ranks of the 4th Independent Kantemirevskaya Guards Tank Division, named after Yuri Andropov. This famous unit of the Russian army was recently restored to its historical name on the occasion of the Victory Day. The honor guard is led by Colonel Sergei Kombarov. Over 20,000 Kantemirevskaya Guards received orders and medals in the Great Patriotic War. 57 of them were titled Heroes of the Soviet Union, and 5 more were awarded the Order of Glory.
The 6th Independent Tank Brigade, headed by Colonel Vladimir Emelianovich, is now making its first appearance on Red Square. During World War II, its troops liberated 131 towns and 14 major cities. For crossing the river Warta and liberating the city of Częstochowa, Poland, it got the name of Częstochowskaya Tank Brigade.
This is the last unit of Russia's Western Military District marching. The honor guard of the 288th Independent Artillery Brigade, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Oleg Zubchik. The brigade fought at the Battle of Kursk, a great battle of the war which Russia will be commemorating 70th anniversary of this year.
The last dismounted troops to walk here are the cadets of the Military Technical University and Moscow Military Commanders Training School. They're headed by Colonel Sergei Rikhel. The university was founded back in 1967, inspired by famous Soviet Marshal Vasily Chuikov.
We see cadets of the Moscow Military Commanders Training School, awarded the Order of Lenin and the Red Banner. They are led by commander of the Academy, General Mikhail Naprienkov. This is the only military educational institution in Russia that are allowed to hold their graduation ceremonies and parades in Red Square.
We can see now the combined band moving towards GUM department store, giving room for the motorized column. Each branch of troops has marched today to its own original soundtrack. Ground Forces marched to We Are Keepers of the Peace by Boris-Steve Air Force, to Higher and Higher by Yuri Haik, Navy to The Crew is a Family by Viktor Pleshak, and Paratroopers to the soundtrack of Belaruski Vokzal, authored by Bulat Akudjava.
And here armor rolls onto Red Square. The Russian government plans to provide troops with more of state-of-the-art military equipment in the coming years. First come Tiger armored vehicles. The Tiger is a survivable, cost-effective, light-protected, all-terrain vehicle, which is considered very suitable for reconnaissance troops. The parade unit is commanded by Major Alexander Akimenko.
They're followed by BDR-82A armored personnel carriers. The column is led by Lieutenant Colonel Nikolai Gubkin.
Next come T-90A tanks, equipped with state-of-the-art arms for destroying both ground and airborne targets. The column is commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Pavel Varichev.
Next, we have a column of Sta-S 152mm self-propelled howitzers. The column is led by Major Nikolai Vasilyev.
Russia's ground air defense forces. Buk M2 is a family of self-propelled medium-range surface-to-air missile systems designed to destroy aircraft, cruise and tactical missiles, including targets both underground and above water. The column is led by Lieutenant Colonel Ruslan Wojciechowski.
Next comes the column of Russian Airspace Defense Forces and its air defense unit, led by Lieutenant Colonel Dmitry Belyatsky. They're equipped with S-400 Triumph, new generation anti-aircraft weapon system, which is capable of targeting objects within the range of some 400 kilometers at various altitudes.
A column of Pantsir S-1 air defense complexes, headed by Colonel Valery Vorontsov. We see a highly accurate missile system designed to protect civil and military facilities of Russia from any possible aerial attack.
This independent missile division was first to have started using Iskander-M high-precision mobile theater ballistic missile systems. The column is led by Major Konstantin Yelfimov.
Topol-M intercontinental ballistic missile mobile launchers, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Sergei Razumtsov. These mobile launchers are capable of dispersing across a vast territory to conduct a multiple launch from changing positions.
Flyover begins. 68 modern Russian aircraft are going to fly over Red Square.
First to start the flyover are Mi-26 multi-purpose heavy transport helicopter and 4 Mi-8 transport helicopters. The formation is led by Lieutenant Colonel Alexei Popov.
Here comes a group of 4 Mi-28 multi-purpose attack helicopters designed to be used against enemy armor and to support ground troops. The formation is led by Lieutenant Colonel Edward Kazachik.
Kamov Ka-52 Alligator military 2-seat attack helicopters designed for use against ground and aerial targets. The formation is led by Pilot First Class Lieutenant Colonel Ivan Nerushin.
Antonov M22 Ante heavy transport aircraft is flying over Red Square. This is the only aircraft in the world capable of landing on and taking off from unpaved runways with heavy loads. The aircraft is piloted by Major Vladimir Nedashkovsky.
Antonov AN-124 Ruslan, the world's largest military cargo aircraft, piloted by Major Alexander Boshko, pilot first class.
This is a Beriev A-50 WAX plane, piloted by Major Valentin Kovalyov.
Of 3 Ilyushin IL-76 heavy strategic airlifters. The formation is flying in a V formation at 200-meter intervals from one another. The formation is led by Major Alexei Kremenchukov.
Next we see 4 MiG-29 fighter jets. These multi-purpose fighter jets are capable of performing their tasks day or night. The group is led by Lieutenant Colonel Alexei Vinyaninov.
Of 4 Mikoyan MiG-31 heavy supersonic interceptors, led by Pilot First Class Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Pavlushkin.
Next we see a formation of 4 Sukhoi Su-24M all-weather attack aircraft, led by Lieutenant Colonel Edmond Nizgovorov.
A wing of 4 Sukhoi Su-34 fighter bombers. The aircraft is designed for pinpoint airstrikes against ground targets. The formation is led by Pilot First Class Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Zhadan.
Flyover continues, and we see 3 Tupolev Tu-22M, 3 supersonic swing-wing long-range strategic bombers and missile carriers. The group is led by Lieutenant Colonel of the Guards, Denis Krivosheyev.
An air show of airborne in-flight refueling performed by an Ilyushin IL-78 in-flight refueling tanker piloted by Lieutenant Colonel of the Guards Sergei Tomov, and a Tupolev Tu-160 supersonic strategic bomber titled the White Swan, piloted by Lieutenant Colonel of the Guards Sergei Volkovitsky.
Next, we see a group of 3 Tupolev Tu-95 strategic bombers and missile carriers. The group is led by Lieutenant Colonel of the Guards, Alexander Kokorev.
Of 10 tactical aircraft, including the Sukhoi Su-34 fighter bomber, the Sukhoi Su-27 fighter, and the Mikoyan MiG-29 jet fighter. The formation comes in a battle formation and is led by the distinguished pilot, sniper pilot, Major General Alexander Harchevsky.
Next, we see 2 unique aerobatic teams, the Russian Knights and the Swifts. 5 Sukhoi Su-27 fighters and 4 Mikoyan MiG-29 fighter jets form the so-called Kubinka Diamond. The formation is led by the Russian Knights commander, Guards Colonel Andrei Alexeyev.
Sukhoi Su-26BM close air support jets are the ones to close the flyover. They fly at the altitude of 300 meters and at the speed of 550 kilometers per hour. The formation is led by sniper pilot Colonel Alexander Korov.
Patriotic March, Farewell of Slavyanka, written by Vasily Agapkin more than 100 years ago. The combined military band is now leaving the Red Square.